My name is Andrew, and I'm a puppeteer, and I'm one of the co-directors of Thingamajig Theatre. These are some of my adventures in outdoor arts. Chapter 5: Top Lessons from this past year. What a year, huh? Pandemic, the climate challenge, Black Lives Matter, Brexit. We had some illness and loss in our family, and of course, there was the economic uncertainty of what's going to happen when all of our work disappears. Suddenly, we had lots and lots and lots of time. This created an interesting opportunity of just taking a little bit of a step back and thinking about what it is that we do and what's important. In this chapter, I'd like to just talk about some of the things that I've been thinking about this past year. Number one, it's nice to stop. Like many of you, I'm sure, we lead very busy lives. As freelance artists, you never stop working. There's always an email to get back to and the next project to plan for, and having all of that taken away last year. Once you got over your anxiety, to just enjoy going for walks. We took up gardening for the first time. There's certain things we started doing on a regular basis, almost rituals around having breakfast, going for a walk. We started taking up some hobbies and tried very much not to be fixated with the news. But all of that, I thought, led to just a deepening and an ability to just listen. As we get back into normal life, it's just something I hope desperately that we don't lose, this ability to just mark the passing of the day and to be present in what the weather's like, what you feel like when you're hungry, when you're tired, and just letting yourself sleep when you need to sleep. Number two, keep growing. At first, I think there was a lot of inactivity, and I think at a certain point that also became oppressive. And so we started doing little things that we've always wanted to do. I started playing a bit more music. I started fell running, cook nice food. I tried to do some more professional development, but that I just didn't have the psychic space for that. It just felt nice to keep moving, even if it wasn't the treadmill of finding work and doing work and more work and more work and more work. And number three, be about something. Like many people, I was really deeply affected by the murder of George Floyd and the conversations that followed afterwards, looking at systems of racism and colonialism and how it affects our daily lives, how the systems of racism have made it in such a way that people of color were dying disproportionately from COVID because of their living situation, their employment situation, access to health care. I've been also thinking a lot about climate change and how this is really such a huge task. It's also really overwhelming to look at all the problems all at the same time. There's a lot we need changing in the world, but we can't do everything. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do anything. I think there's a lot to change, but there's a lot of us. And so if we all found one thing to push for, the one thing to champion, and just lean into it, and support those around you who are leaning into their thing. There's this interesting idea, this Venn diagram from a podcast that I like to listen to called How to Save a Planet. It asks, what are you good at? What is the work that needs doing? What brings you joy? And something in the center of that, that's the thing that you can contribute. That's the thing that you can do. And that's the thing that you could really lean into. other people will have different things that they're good at or that brings them joy. And so if we all push at the same time in a similar direction, I think good things will start to happen. It's the best we can do. Number 4, find something to leave behind. This might be a donation of time or money. Maybe it's teaching. Maybe it's providing opportunities for other people. This year's made me think a little bit about what I can leave behind. When I was in my 20s starting out, I had several people that went out of their way to give me opportunities. Shout out to my old colleagues, Beth Peterson, Lori Witzkowski, Sandy Spieler at In the Heart of the Beast Puppet and Mask Theater. Now, after 30 years in this field, I feel like it's now my opportunity to leave something behind. I'm also interested in finding opportunities and creating opportunities to support and nurture artists of color. I feel like artists of color are underrepresented in the field of puppetry and in the field of outdoor arts. I've been doing some training in the US in Minneapolis for the last few years, teaching puppetry to Black, Indigenous, and people of color. It's been great to see the Minneapolis puppetry community suddenly start to have new voices and to new points of view. I'd like to do more of that in the UK, so watch this space. Number 5, it's all about love. Up till now, if you know me, you'd say it's all about the work. It's all about puppets. It's all about parades. It's all about art. But actually, having so much taken away from me this past year, I realize actually what's important is the connections that you have, the contact, the support. I really appreciate the ways that we found to connect with family, to connect with loved ones, to connect with friends, and to connect with community. Looking forward, I hope I don't forget this, and as things get busy, that I still keep those connections, and I still find ways to pay forward the kindness, helping people in your community, picking up litter, volunteering, sharing food, making communal spaces. This year has really shown us that it's hard for everyone. Sometimes it's really hard for certain people. But it's better. It's better if we're together, and it's better, so much better, if we're just kind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there soon.